Hello, everyone. Today, I have a powerful story for you. It's not just a tale for your listening practice, but a lesson about resilience and how our greatest weaknesses can become our greatest strengths. The story is called The Unseen Strength. There was a young woman named Maya who lived in a bustling coastal city. Maya had a dream of becoming a master potter, creating beautiful ceramics that felt alive in your hands. She saw art in everything, but her family struggled to see a future in it. Her mother, Lena, worked long hours as a seamstress, and her father was no longer around. They wanted Maya to find a real job to help with the bills. One evening, Maya looked at her hands covered in clay from a long day at the community studio. She whispered to herself, "I know I can do this. I can create something that matters." The next day, she showed her mother a vase she had made. Her mother sighed gently and said, "Maya, talent is not enough. Stability isn't free. It requires a foundation, something solid to build on." Those words stuck with Maya. A foundation. She realized she had to start with what she had, not what she dreamed of having. She noticed that the local market was full of tourists, but no one was selling unique, handmade souvenirs. This was her chance. But there was a problem. Maya couldn't afford her own kiln to fire her pottery. She decided to approach the owner of the city's only professional pottery studio, a stern, respected artist named Mrs. Rossi. With a portfolio of her best work, Maya walked into the studio. "Mrs. Rossi," Maya began, her voice shaking slightly, "I have a proposal. I want to create a line of souvenirs for the tourists, but I have no kiln. Could I use yours? I will give you half of my earnings from the first month." Mrs. Rossi looked over Maya's work critically. "Why should I invest my time and resources in you?" she asked. "Because I am willing to work when everyone else is sleeping," she replied firmly. "I will clean your studio, mix your clay, do whatever it takes for a chance." After a long silence, Mrs. Rossi agreed. "1 month, and your work must be flawless." Maya worked tirelessly. She spent her days at the market, selling her small cups and plates with intricate wave designs, and her nights at Mrs. Rossi's studio, cleaning and preparing clay for the older potter. It was exhausting. But by the end of the month, she had not only paid Mrs. Rossi, but also saved a small amount. One day, a customer told her, "Your designs are beautiful, but the clay feels rough. If you had smoother, higher quality materials, these would be perfect." This was Maya's moment of truth. She realized that the unseen strength wasn't just about working hard, but about improving her craft from the ground up. She couldn't just be a potter. She had to become a master of her materials. But she didn't know how to source better clay or create her own glazes. She went back to Mrs. Rossi. "Can you teach me about clays and glazes? I want to make my work truly exceptional." Mrs. Rossi frowned. "If I teach you my secrets, what do I get in return?" Maya looked her in the eye. "You get a partner, someone who will honor your craft and help this studio grow." Impressed by her boldness, Mrs. Rossi agreed. The lessons were grueling. Maya learned about different types of clay, how to mix minerals for glazes, and the precise temperatures for firing. Her first few attempts were disasters. Glazes bubbled and cracked, pots warped in the kiln. One night, after a whole batch was ruined, Maya felt like giving up. She thought, maybe my mother was right. Maybe this is just a foolish dream. But then she remembered her own words. Stability requires a foundation. And a foundation is built brick by brick, even when it's hard. She wiped her tears and started again. Weeks turned into months. Maya's pottery improved dramatically. Her new pieces, with their smooth texture and unique sea-inspired glazes, became the talk of the market. She rented a small stall of her own, and her business grew. But then, a challenge arose. A large, imported goods store opened next to the market, selling cheap, mass-produced ceramics at low prices. Maya's sales dropped sharply. Fear gripped her heart. Had all her hard work been for nothing? Instead of giving up, Maya decided to adapt. She realized her strength wasn't in competing on price, but on story and quality. She started putting small cards with each piece, telling the story of how it was made by hand from local materials. She even began offering short, free pottery demonstrations at her stall. People were captivated. They weren't just buying a cup. They were buying a piece of art, a piece of the city's soul. Her customers returned, valuing the authenticity and heart she put into her work. Years later, Maya owned her own successful studio and gallery. At the opening, she stood before her family, friends, and Mrs. Rossi, who was now her mentor and friend. My journey taught me that the unseen strength lies within our challenges. First, a foundation isn't given. It's built with every small, difficult step. Second, your biggest obstacle can become your guide if you're willing to learn from it. Third, when you pour your heart into your work, people don't just see a product, they feel its story. And finally, never let comparison steal your joy. Your unique path is your greatest asset. Maya didn't just become a potter. She became an artist who inspired her entire community. And so can you. Whatever your dream is, remember to build your foundation, learn from every setback, and trust in your own unseen strength.